Welcome to the OT, presented by Ford.
An exciting Sunday here in Week 3 as we welcome you to the OT presented by Ford. The number of unbeaten teams cut in half. We'll show you how that happened as we go through the highlights. But first of all, let's start with that big game that most of you saw in Chicago.
CeeDee Lamb, great wide receiver for the Cowboys, leaving into the first quarter with an injured ankle. It was all Caleb Williams. Looking, feels pressure, roll right, look back. Zone defense, no one in the middle. DJ Moore on a 4-yard touchdown. Williams with 4 touchdowns on the day. Bears 31, Dallas Cowboys 14. Arizona Cardinals at the 49ers. Nick Bosa left the game with a knee injury. But we moved to the fourth quarter, out of the eye, play action, rolling right. Beautiful throw by Kyler Murray to Trey McBride, a 1-yard touchdown. We're tied at 13 all. Then with 4 seconds left, Eddie Piñeiro's 35-yard field goal wins it for the 49ers. Another big day for quarterback Matt Jones of the 49ers. San Francisco now go to 3-0. Saints at the Seahawks on the punt return. Torrey Horton returns this punt. Look at Surratt there. Lays out the punter, Kai Kroger, and down Horton goes. 95 yards, Curtis. 95 yards, Howie. Nice. Okay, thanks.
That's great.
44 to 13. Thank you, Howie. I love the contribution.
95 yards, okay.
Okay, good. Broncos at the Chargers. Khalil Mack out of the game with an elbow injury. Justin Herbert, a big day with him. 300 yards passing. This to Keenan Allen. 20-yard touchdown. We're tied at 20 all. And then Dickers, with 5 seconds remaining in the football game, nails the 43-yarder. Los Angeles Chargers 23, Denver Broncos 20. Chargers 3-0 on the season. Denver now lost 2 in a row. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles going for it on 4th and goal. Back, Hurts finds Devontae Smith. Man-to-man coverage, corner settled inside. Devontae went outside. A 4-yard touchdown, 2-point conversion is missed. And then with 3 seconds left, Cardi with the 44-yard field goal. It's blocked by Jordan Davis. Davis picks it up. Didn't have to score for them to win the game, but they do anyway. 33-26, Davis with 2 blocked field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia 33-26 over the Rams. Packers at the Browns, 27 seconds left. Brandon McManus, 43-yard field goal blocked by Shelby Harris. Another block. Special teams ugly today. 2 seconds left. Smith. Andre Smith, 55-yarder. Cleveland 13, Green Bay 10, Gronk. Shocker of the day. Or not. Jets at Tampa Bay, 2 minutes left. McLaughlin's 43-yard field goal. I heard that in the back. Sorry, Will McDonald, who is that back there? Anyway, it's returned by McDonald, 50 yards for the touchdown. Tampa Bay 26, but the Jets are up 27, 1 point. But here comes, you guessed it, Tampa Bay. 36-yarder, McLaughlin nails it. Tampa Bay 29, New York Jets 27. The Raiders. Jaden Daniels out with a knee injury, quarterback for the Washington Commanders. Nice job today by Mariota. In his stead, finds Luke McCaffrey, 43-yard touchdown. Washington 41, Raiders 24 on this day. Falcons at the Panthers. Michael Penix Jr. on your left. Bryce Young, quarterback for Carolina, on your right. Penix picked by Shaw. Smith, Wade takes it back. 11 yards for the touchdown. 30-0. Carolina all over the Atlanta Falcons. Bengals at the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, out on this day with an injured ankle. But it's the backup for Joe Burrow of the Bengals. That guy, by the way, is Jake Browning. He's picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. He returns this 87 yards. Look at that. 87 yards, Gronk.
That's my number, Terry.
Yeah, it's a good deal. He had 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. Another 67-yard fumble recovered for the touchdown. All Vikings, 48-10 over Cincinnati. Terry Bradshaw's Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, 4th all-time on the passing touchdown list. Firing down the left side, nice throw, good concentration by Austin, 17-yard touchdown. Rodgers with 2 touchdown passes on the day. Now passes Brett Favre, who had 508. He now has 509. Steelers 21-14 over New England. Jonathan Taylor, the Colts. Great job by Taylor. Kept his legs churning, runs through 5, count them, 5 Tennessee Titans, 41-20. Colts on top of the Tennessee Titans. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, one of my favorite guys. Actually, I like this guy. I like the uniforms. What a great town down there, don't you think?
Yeah.
ETN takes it in from 10 yards out. Jacksonville 17, Houston 10. Houston, you believe this?
Yeah, they're 0-3. What happened to them? All right, a team that got off the snide, the Chicago Bears. They get their first win under new head coach Ben Johnson. And when we continue here on the OT presented by Ford, Tom Rinaldi will talk with the quarterback of the Bears, Caleb Williams, after what may be the best game he has played as a pro. Tom Brady will also join us live from Soldier Field to wrap up that game. And we'll get inside the locker room as the Bears celebrate their new head coach getting his first W. Well, coming up, our very own Erin Andrews and Ken Jeong host 99 to Beat, a brand new game show here on Fox where 100 players battle in seemingly simple games for $1 million. The only rule, don't finish last. Don't miss the special advanced premiere of 99 to Beat coming up when we are done here at the OT on Fox. Well, Erin Andrews, of course, works one sideline for the A crew. Tom Rinaldi works the other. And after the game, he had a chance to speak to the winning quarterback.
If that's not a career day, Caleb, I don't know what one looks like. 4 touchdown passes, 4 different receivers. What clicked?
Yeah, I think it's, I honestly think it's our hard work that we've been putting in as a group, as a collective, offense, defense, special teams. We know what we need to do. We just got to go out there and execute. And that's something we did today. I think defense had 4 turnovers. Offense, we had a bunch of touchdowns. And special teams, they did their job with holding number 9 to, a super explosive player and things like that. So, everybody just doing their job, and we all clicked at one time.
I have to ask you about the flea flicker.
Yep.
When it was tossed back to you, it seemed like it was in the air for 10 seconds till it reached you.
Yep.
What was going through your mind as you're waiting to catch that, then release it downfield?
All week, I underthrew Luther all week. And so it was just understanding, just be able to get the ball out. I told Luther, just keep running. You won't outrun me in the game, and we did just that. It was fun.
We had our cameras on your head coach. We're not sure we spied a smile the entire game. What will you share with him in the locker room here, his first win as a head coach? Yeah,
obviously, we left a lot of points on the board, offense, defense. And so obviously he's going to be how he is about that. But I think it's a great win. Obviously, they're such a great team, explosive offense, and a bunch of great players on the defense, and obviously their special teams. So it's a great win for us. It's a start. The focus, like I said last week, is just going 1-0 each week, and we did that this week. And we're going to move on. We're going to enjoy in the locker room and go party in the locker room. But other than that, we'll move on. We've got about 24 hours.
Appreciate you. Thanks for the time, Ken.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure. The Bears.
All right, the Bears are certainly hoping that it is indeed a start. The guy who called the game along with Kevin Burkhardt in the booth, Tom Brady, joins us right now, sticking around there at Soldier Field. Thanks for sticking around, Tom. I want to ask you, Caleb Williams, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions, no sacks. What made it work today for him, maybe unlike it has throughout his first year plus?
Yeah, he played on time, in rhythm. Some of those explosive plays, like that flea flicker, blew me away because he obviously jumped, caught it one-handed, which was super athletic, and then drops a dime 65 yards in the air. So I think you see the potential, and the reality is now you just got to make that consistent over the course of the whole season. So played on time, in rhythm, found his guys. Ben Johnson delivered some, very characteristic Ben Johnson type offensive plays, guys wide open, and Caleb came through.
Yeah, we saw Ben Johnson go to reverses, gadget this, gadget that. But this was actually, Tom, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Eberflus's defense for the Cowboys is rush 4, play zone. If you don't have a pass rush and you have a quality quarterback and great receivers, you're going to see these kind of results all year long. But confidence for a young quarterback, you've been there, I've been there, when you can have this kind of game at home after going 0-2, got to do wonders for your team, right?
Yeah, well, they believe in you when you come through with these performances. 4 touchdowns, no picks, hits open guys, stands in the pocket, delivers throws under pressure. There's a lot of confidence. The whole team can really develop with Caleb and his style. And they had, a rough end of the season last year. You bring in Ben Johnson. All the hopes are high here in Chicago, and you get off to a slow 0-2 start. So they came home. They took care of business. Yeah, Dallas defense is definitely reeling. They're not great in the secondary right now. They've had a lot of injuries. They're not rushing the passer. But that's exactly what Chicago's offense needed to do to take advantage of it.
Hey, Tom, Caleb has been under a great deal of scrutiny throughout the course of the season. I think it probably hit the apex last week, losing to Detroit in really disastrous fashion. You talked about in the preseason how complicated it is for a young quarterback to digest an entirely new offense. Talk about the challenges of that.
Yeah, it's a great question, Howie. There's so much young development quarterback play that's happening. We're playing these quarterbacks at young ages before they're really, in my mind, developed, mature enough to understand the role and responsibility of being a QB1 for an entire franchise, an entire city. And that takes time to grow into that. And I think some of the greatest examples are guys that sat behind guys that really showed them the way. We can use Brett Favre as an example. Aaron Rodgers got to watch behind him. Then Jordan Love got to watch behind Aaron Rodgers. Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, that dynamic. I got to watch Drew Bledsoe for a year. It was great for me. I could learn so much just by observing kind of things I like and things that I thought, okay, this is what I'll do a little differently if I ever get a shot. So we thrust them in there. And then what does a good head coach do, which I would obviously consider Ben Johnson that? It's kind of spoon-feeding him new styles of offense that Caleb hasn't really run. Caleb in college didn't huddle. He didn't motion. There was a lot of things that was very stationary offense. Here, that is a hallmark of Ben Johnson's offense. A lot of multiplicity, a lot of different formation variations. He's got to get up to speed, and they do that by layering on that information every single week. So they did a good job of that today. They're going to have to continue it as the season moves forward.
Hey, Tom, what's up, man? It's Gronk here. And before we talk some football and the Bears.
I love it when you tell him it's you.
Yes, I mean, I'm just sure he knows my voice, but I'm just making sure.
What's coming?
Before we get started, man, let's give some love to Julian, man. First ballot Patriots Hall of Famer today. One of the best teammates that you and I ever had. I mean, one of the most clutch players to ever play the game, especially throughout the playoffs. What do you got to say about Julian, one of our favorite guys of all time?
I'm so happy for Julian and that red jacket that I saw him put on as a Hall of Famer. He was so deserving. And I watched him grow from, this really young, special player, but didn't really find a role, and then challenge himself into becoming one of the most dependable, consistent players in the history of the Patriots organization, which says a lot. And just because he's got a Hall of Fame red jacket, Jules, doesn't mean I'm coming on your podcast yet. So chill out.
Oh, you're holding out.
You're going to have to do a few more things, all right, to get me on that frickin' podcast you keep asking me on. Just because you got the red jacket doesn't mean I'm jumping on the bandwagon.
What about the catch?
Come on. Will you come on my podcast then?
Maybe Robbie G for you, all right?
Everybody's got a podcast. Hey, looking behind you, you'll have no trouble getting out of there with traffic. Everybody's already gone. We appreciate you sticking around and joining us here on the OT. Thanks a lot, Tom.
Next week, brother.
Hey, guys, love my teammates at Fox. You guys are killing it. Love you in the pregame. All those things you talk about echoing me all game. Keep up the great work. Love you guys.
All right,
Thanks,
you
partner.
as well. Keep up the great work there. All right, let's take a look back here at this game. And you talked a little bit about what this means for Caleb Williams as an individual. What does this mean for the Chicago Bears as a team, as they try and get this thing turned around under Ben Johnson?
First of all, it's a win. Okay, it's the coach has got a plan. He's implemented the plan. Now they're executing. You heard Tom say, a little layer at a time, a little layer at a time. Now they're going, oh, this worked. Oh, our quarterback can play. Oh, our quarterback can lead us from behind. And we're really good. This offense today, for all you viewers out there, this was all zone. This was not man. This was not blitz. All zone. Now we add a little, now we're going to play some teams that can get after us a little bit. Detroit's going to be able to get after me. It's going to be blitz, a lot of man. Now let's see the growth of our quarterback at that. The thing is, they've got great receivers, and I love their tight ends, and we're going to see them be involved more and more in the offense.
And what does it mean for the Cowboys here, Howard? They got the Packers next week.
Yeah, and the irony of it is, last week the defense looked so bad, and you thought Eberflus, he knows the personnel, he knows the quarterback. It really didn't matter, and all the talk this week was, there's no way we're going to give up the explosive plays, and sure enough, it was fireworks right off the bat. And for I think Chicago and Caleb Williams and particularly that team. You go to Detroit last week, you give up, 52 points.
Yeah.
And, it's a disaster.
Right.
It's divisional. It hurts. You got your butt whooped. To bounce back, and, you got to get back on Wednesday. You got to work your rear end off and get ready for the next Sunday and hope for redemption, and I think it's a good step.
You're a tight end. Didn't you love playing against zone? There's so many holes, and especially if your quarterback has time.
Oh, definitely. I was more of a man player though, Terry, because I got to use my body, and that was my advantage, was my size, and I got to use a little flipper to get that separation. But zone coverage is great for to sit in the hole, especially when you have a quarterback like Tom Brady to be able to pick it apart. When you have it's more important for a quarterback to be able to read the zone than for a wide receiver, because the quarterback has to place the ball. But what I love about this game, Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards, probably his best game of his career. But the most important stat on the stat sheet is that he was sacked zero times this game. He's been the most sacked player all last year. He's been sacked in the first 2 weeks a tremendous amount of times. And now he can build that trust with his offensive line. And when you can build that trust, then you can start winning games and become a better team on a weekly basis.
You see zones like they layered short, shallow. Okay, that held the linebackers, and then their second layer of routes were 20 yards deep, so that gave him ample opportunity to drop it over to those big holes back there. I thought he was fantastic today, Williams.
Hey, Gronk, go and look at the Cowboys here. They're 1-2 right now. We talked already. They face the Packers next week. If their defense is going to play like it has the last couple weeks, they need points on the offensive side. And they may have lost CeeDee Lamb for a little bit. We saw that ankle. He didn't come back after rolling it, and it was swollen, we saw on the sideline. Can they manufacture enough points to be in games without CeeDee if it's a while?
I don't think so, especially going versus the Green Bay Packers defense. I mean, Dak's doing a great job of getting the ball up in the air and letting the receivers go and make plays, but CeeDee Lamb is that guy. That's who he needs out on the field to go up and make those plays and high point the ball. He has a couple other guys, but they're not CeeDee Lambs. That's why he's one of the highest paid players in the game. But also, the Dallas Cowboys can't win games with this type of defense, giving up, this many big plays. I mean, how many plays last week they gave up that were over 30 yards? How many this week versus the Chicago Bears? Sure. I mean, this might build some confidence next week for Jordan Love, actually.
You can't, look, you rush 4, right, Howie? You rush 4 people. That's Eberflus's defense. Rush 4. Now, the people you're rushing, you're counting on them getting to the quarterback. If they get to the quarterback, now you got 7 covered. You got 7 out there on these layers, and they're playing zone behind it. Now you got an opportunity to double up and make interception. They can't do that right now.
The people that are patting you on the back the most during the week, if you're a good defensive line, are the DBs.
Yeah.
Because pressure equals coverage. And Micah Parsons not being a part of that defense has a ripple effect that I don't think they even foresaw. And so far, this coordinator hasn't worked. 2 weeks in a row, you're getting lit up on deep balls. If you just take that away and take the 20-yard reception, it changes everything. But your offense is under so much pressure right off the bat because you're down immediately, you're giving up big plays, big scores, and it's deflating.
Yeah.
In Eberflus's defense, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, he probably planned all offseason to have Micah Parsons.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, before week 1,
sure they
he doesn't have him.
I don't think Jerry
They haven't adjusted.
him. Do you?
Yeah, they definitely have not adjusted. All right, when we come back, we're going to get inside some of the winning locker rooms, including Ben Johnson getting that first victory as a head coach, thanks to a great day by Caleb Williams. We'll also check in on the 49ers who won at the last second. And how about Washington? Their backup quarterback Marcus Mariota taking over for the injured Jaden Daniels and getting the W for the team from Washington. Picture perfect day here in the NFL. Week 3, some wild finishes. Let's get inside some of the victorious locker rooms here as we continue on the OT.
It's Boss Man's first home victory. You know what I got. Repeat after me now. Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Good gets better. Good gets better. And your better gets better. And your better gets better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hey guys, not easy to win in this league now. 3-0. However we got there, we 3-0. We got a lot to clean up from a penalty standpoint, right? A lot to clean up from finishing the ball game. Bottom line is, we found a way to win. That's what we came in here to do.
We're gonna celebrate this one, man. This don't come around often. And continue grinding. Let's get better next week. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dean caught it!
Andre, guys, as you know, Andre's been through a lot. All right, you've been through a lot. We got your back. We got your back. And I know who's watching that field goal go through. That was your mom. Congratulations.
Come on, man. Coach Canale.
Team win, right? As we said, man, complimentary ball, back and forth. Best part of us is all of us doing all of our together, man. Some cool We'll go through all of it tomorrow. Excellent job getting back to our ways. So real bad took one on the sideline and pop up like toast. DQ.
Well, in case you didn't see it earlier, he took a hit from Mariota, bleeding from the nose, and still was the big head coach who got the victory today. Jay Glazer will have more on that in just a bit. But Mariota, the way he played today.
Love him. You know what? Here's a guy that was, what, first or second pick?
Second pick overall.
Overall, bumped around. Let me give you this, folks. He started in Tennessee, then he went to the Raiders, then he went to the Falcons, then he went to the Eagles, then he went to Washington. 5 football teams, and everywhere he's been, he is loved. He's a great teammate, and as you saw today, he was the second leading rusher with over 40 yards. He threw for over 200 yards and 1 touchdown. What's not to like about a backup quarterback named Marcus Mariota?
Backup quarterbacks overall 3 and 2 in the 5 games they started today. Howie, one of the more impressive games was the Eagles coming back in the second half.
Down 19 in the third quarter. I think it might have been the best thing that could have happened to the Eagles. It forced Kevin Patullo, their coordinator, to open things up. And what you got was you got the Jalen from the last 2 Super Bowls. You got the Brown from the last 2 Super Bowls. Smith. It opened the offense up. It really expanded. This is the Eagles team we wanted to see, and this is the team that I think I expect to see moving forward.
Gronk, Baker, and the Bucs last-minute win once again, but they're 3-0.
Yes, just like their head coach Todd just said, they are 3-0. He just said it in the locker room. And here's the thing about the Bucs. They're a resilient team. They're a tough football team. They're building that trust within each other. That's the 3rd game in a row where they went down on the final drive to win the game. And they kind of play down to their competition, and they play up to who they're playing against as well if they're playing a great team. And next week, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3-0 versus the Philadelphia Eagles 3-0. And remember, the Bucs beat them last year.
That's a big game coming up on Fox in that 1 o'clock window next Sunday. But right now, let's check in with Jay Glazer. A lot of injuries to talk about this week. Maybe none bigger than CeeDee Lamb, Jay.
Yeah, certainly for the Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb actually went down with an ankle injury in the first quarter of that game. Tried to return the second, couldn't really do it, so it is a high ankle sprain. Dallas Cowboys have to give him more tests tomorrow to decide the severity of that high ankle sprain. Nick Bosa, big loss for San Francisco today, went down there early in the game. Head coach Kyle Shanahan said after the game they don't think it's an ACL, which would be fantastic for them, but they're not exactly sure what the knee injury is, so they have to give him further tests tomorrow. For the Chargers, not good day for Najee Harris and the Chargers there. Losing him, he actually went down with a non-contact Achilles injury. He is getting an MRI as we speak, but the fear there is a torn Achilles, which would put him out for the season. And Gronk, you just talked about the big game next week here with Philadelphia against Tampa. Lane Johnson went down early first quarter today for Philadelphia. He told me he had a stinger after the game. He said he's feeling a lot better, though. He thinks he'll be able to go next week. Still has to get more tests. And guys, Kurt, you're just talking about that big hit from Dan Quinn. All right, so Dan Quinn gets hit today for Marcus Mariota. You're going to see it here. I actually talked to Marcus. He said, man, I try to hold up, but DQ talked to him after as well. He said, I'm feeling okay. Talked to the doctors. He is from New Jersey. He said, that's how we do it in Jersey. DQ still feeling okay.
He's definitely a Jersey guy for sure, a tough guy as well. Thanks a lot, Jay. All right, let's wrap it up with who won the day. Why don't we start with you, Mr. Gronkowski?
I'm going with Isaiah Rodgers, defensive back number 2 on the Minnesota Vikings. If you're wondering how the Minnesota Vikings scored so many points today, well, Isaiah Rodgers brought 2 defensive touchdowns to the house. First off, he had an 87-yard interception. What a great number. Terry, by the way, that was my number when I played.
That's your number.
And then he had a fumble return.
You wear your jersey to work every day.
Yes, I do. I want people to know who I am, Terry. I really love that. And then number 2, he had a 65-yard fumble recovery to the house as well. Shout out to Isaiah Rodgers, 2 defensive touchdowns.
Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter for the Eagles. That big 4th down stop was a turning point. 2 blocked field goals. Davis returned 1 for a touchdown. That interior of that group was great today.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I'm going to shout out to Caleb Williams, young quarterback for the Bears. 4 touchdown passes. No sacks on him today. No interceptions on him today. He was outstanding. And as a young quarterback, I've been in his shoes before. It does take a burden off because people are on your case a little bit because you're the first pick in the draft. Today, a great growing up for him. So happy. Way to go, Caleb Williams.
I think people forget this was only his 20th start today.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He's still young. All right, we're not done just yet. Don't forget when we're done, 99 to Beat premieres right here on Fox in just a bit, but we got more to talk about after this.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.